Hello, welcome to Torah Scribes. My name is Aaron Leibowitz, and I'd like to talk about the halachos of safrus. Unfortunately today, when it comes to safrus, people think that the halachos are very complicated, with many little details, and very difficult. And also, there are those that go around puzzling almost everything. And it's really a churban. So I'd like to point out and go through the halachas showing how we could be as mekel as possible without violating halacha. Another thing that's important to know is that when it comes to halacha in general, and in this video we're going to talk about specifically safrus, that you need two pictures in your mind. One picture is what your opinion is, which is based on your own personal logic. And another picture is what the halacha actually is, like whether it's what the poskim say or what the minig is or whatever decides what the halacha should be. Those two pictures don't need to match. You need to have your opinion, and then at the end of the day you have to know what the halacha is. Now, let's start going into the halachas. We're going to start with the halacha of chak teiches. The way the Shulchan Aruch brings it down, that it's important to, when you're writing a tefillin or a mezuzah or a sefer Torah, it's important that you have to write the ois. You have to write it with a feather and ink on cloth. It has to be written, not carve it, not taking a blade to a dry ois and scratching out the glob of ink to make it look like a letter. That's not writing, that's carving, that's puzzle. And the same thing goes for even when the letter is wet and you want to take an eraser and erase off part of the ink to make the ink now look like a letter. That's chak teiches, that's puzzle. Now it's important to point out, Aruch HaShulchan brings down this halacha a little bit differently than the Shulchan Aruch. The Shulchan Aruch brings it down as v'kosav v'loy v'chakak, you write instead of carving. So the Aruch HaShulchan says v'chsav tam and not v'chakak tam. That you have to write tefillin and mezuzahs with a perfect ksav and not just carve out a perfect ksav. And I think the purpose of what Aruch HaShulchan is saying is to point out that if not for the din of ksivatama by tefillin and mezuzahs, and also by Sefer Torah, according to many Rishonim, it's part of the din of Ksiva Tama that if you carve, that it's possible. That's why when it comes to Shabbos, if you carve a letter, you chayev for kaisev. Because on Shabbos, even without Ksiva Tama, if you just make it legible, you chayev for kaisev on Shabbos. In safrus, it's more than that. In safrus, not only do you have to make it legible, barely legible, it has to be so legible that it's a perfect sav. And therefore, in the din of Ksiva Tama, we see that not only could you carve, which would be writing for Shabbos, you have to actually write in a way that it's going to be a perfect sav, which is not something that's normally done with carving, only with mamish writing. Okay, thank you for watching, and we'll continue with other videos in the future. Thank you very much. I'll see you next time.